Joining us now is Justin Paperny. He's co-founder of White Collar Advice and federal prison consultant. Good to have you here. So it doesn't look like Jeffrey Epstein is going to be granted bail. He will be held. His next hearing is on Thursday. What can he expect in the next 3 days?
Well, it's good to be back with you. He'll be in pretrial detention by himself, 23 hours a day, locked in what's called the special housing unit. But I can tell you there's very little special about it as he sits there with nothing but his thoughts in a very small concrete bunker, angling and thinking about how he can position himself for the best outcome.
I think we have another soundbite from that U.S. attorney talking about some of the things that they found in the when they were looking for evidence last night. Watch this.
Yes, contemporaneous with the arrest of Epstein at Teterboro Airport, agents executed a search warrant on his mansion in New York City and recovered and seized, and that was a search pursuant to a valid warrant. Agents seized evidence, including nude photographs of what appeared to be underage girls.
I want to get your thoughts on that because obviously the indictment is an accusation. It is not proof, but the U.S. attorney is saying that this is what they found at the home.
Well, that's exactly right, and I think it's pretty clear based on his prior conviction what's going to happen, and I would assume that people with whom he worked, perhaps the enablers who might have helped him facilitate this crime, are worrying and wondering about what's going to happen to them. Usually one of the first things the U.S. attorney may ask you in an interview is there anything you'd like to tell us? And of course, if he answers appropriately, meaning give information about others, could take them down a road of more investigations, more indictments, and prison terms, which of course gets them closer to vindication for victims. So when I say angling, that's what he's doing right now with his lawyers, wondering if there's a way, if he's guilty or pleads guilty, that he won't spend the rest of his life in a federal prison and that he can somehow make its way out of there, and that can include rolling over on his associates.
And this, it is almost inevitable that in a situation like this, you will have people talking about, well, who else might have been involved, et cetera. As the U.S. attorney said, Justice Department guidelines says we do not talk about that. That doesn't mean that people couldn't gossip about it behind the scenes, but the Justice Department says that they will not participate in that. Is that good news for him or for anybody else that might be worried about it?
I think it's good news now, but you can expect as the investigation begins, there'll probably be more superseding indictments. This is a way to get him back here, held in this country. I don't suspect he'll be granted a bond due to his ability to leave the country with his jets. So they may say that now, but you can fully expect if his goal is to serve not the rest of his life in federal prison, if there were enablers of people helping him in his inner circle, at some point he's going to speak about that with the goal of trying to keep himself out of prison for the rest of his life.
All right, Justin Paperny, thank you so much for being with us from California today.